Hi, I'm Amanda and I'm from getalifeatsea.com and I am a cruise employment specialist with over 10 years of onboard experience as well as over 5 years of cruise ship employment experience as well. So I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about how to get a job on a cruise ship and specifically some of the basic documentation that you should have in order first before you start the application process. So, number one, your passport. I always recommend that candidates get this in order before they start the application process, as it can be something that can take a little bit of time, and you don't want to start applying and then get a contract offer and not have that ready to go. So, if you are able to do that in advance, I always recommend that you go ahead and do that. Number two, visas. Now, this can differ from company to company, and also it will be dependent on the country that you are from. Some countries will not require any additional visas to work on board a ship, and others may. So, in most cases, if you're working, for example, for an American cruise line, you will be required to get a C1D visa, which will allow you to work on board an American vessel. Or for an American company. The only nationalities that don't need that additional visa at this point are American citizens and Canadian citizens. However, if your ship is going to an exotic itinerary, you may be required to get additional visas as well. In addition, depending on the country that you're joining your ship in, you may be required to get some entry visas in order to enter that country in order to join your ship. So, no worries really. Your company administrator will definitely hold your hand throughout the process and let you know exactly what you need to do in order to get those visas organized. And the company will provide you with letters upon their offer of contract to you if you do need to go to a consulate and get those visas organized. It's not something that you necessarily have to get before you start the application process. However, I am mentioning it now because of the fact that it can be a good idea, depending on the country that you're from and the companies that you're applying to potentially contact the consulate that you'll need to go to, for example, the American consulate, and just check on the times that it may take you to get an appointment. In that way, you can be better prepared to answer questions your administrator may have for you regarding how long it's going to take to actually get your visa organized. So that's something to think about as well. Number three will be your Seamans Book. Now, again, this will be dependent from country to country and from company to company. Some companies will require a Seamans Book, others not. Basically, what it is another passport in essence. It shows that you are a seafarer working on board a ship, and as such, it's just basically another a form of identification to prove that fact. And in some cases, it can allow you easier access into some countries when you are going off in port. So, for example, Russia has some pretty strict regulations with regards to entering the country when you're coming in on a ship, unless you're a passenger. And so that additional booklet may enable you to get off and enjoy the sights a little bit easier than if you don't. So that is something to think about getting. It is something that you don't need to get before you start the application process, but again, I'm mentioning it now because it can be a good idea to contact your local authority that issues Seamans Books. For example, in Canada, it's Transport Canada. And just check on the pricing of that as well as how long it would take you to obtain that if you were given an offer of contract. And all of these items will be at your own expense. The passport, any additional visas that you require, and of course, the Seamans Book will be at your own expense. So if you are starting the application process, it is something to think about saving up for because these are costs that will be incurred by yourself, and in most cases the company will not be reimbursing you with regards to these. So that covers all of the basic documentation that I wanted to talk to you about today that I always recommend candidates at least check into before starting the application process with regards to applying for a job on a cruise ship. Again, that's passport, additional visas, and Seamans Book. So if you liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up. and subscribe to my channel for more information coming to you soon. Please also check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, and you can also get live one-on-one time with me by checking into Periscope. And you can get into Periscope by logging in with my Twitter handle, which is Get a Life at Sea. So do check that out as well. And of course, I would love if you checked out my website at www.getalifeatsea.com, where I have all sorts of services geared towards helping you get a life at sea. From my How the Heck to Get a Job on a Cruise Ship guide, to resume consults, to resume creation, and of course, cruise employment coaching. So please do check that out if you'd like more information on how I can help you get a life at sea. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.